Okay, hello everybody. So I don't have a ton of energy, although I might get energized simply doing this and the thing, conversation and chapstick if you're here, chapstick if you're not, and stuff that might, and just simply like say doing this podcast. But I wanted to do it because it's been another kind of an interesting morning where things kind of like the other day, it just kind of all fell into place the way it did, and it was interesting to learn about my cousin a bit more in that, and to do some songwriting. And yes, I posted all that. But today, fairly early in the morning, I came across on a social media a person who, which doesn't sound like it's going to be having a video, but a person who had a last name that was familiar, and there was a couple other interesting things that I saw on the page. One was another unique last name that I associated with one of the, I think, yeah, the last funeral most recent funeral I've been to. I think there's been one or two people that have passed away in my life since then, but one of them I found out a couple days after the funeral, and it was hard to get to, far away. And she lived a long life. She was 104. Um, and the previous one to that was only 32. I feel like there may have been one in the middle. I know that when I was a little bit recently, I saw a couple names that I recognized that I think I was connected to on my account, but not that I really knew very well. Um, Anywho, so um, but I looked a little closer, and I noticed that this person that it came across is related to my former coworker. The image, which I kept almost forgetting to include when I was doing the setup, the image in this video, uh, it's actually a painting of her, um, that a former friend had done, and basically, you know, I know that we got along, that she liked me, that we related in some areas, both being musical, some of our health issues. Um, but and her husband was very laid back as well. And she did have kids, but she seemed to be available to chat very often. However, if she happens to see this or if she doesn't, I guess I would say the thing is that I was really needing some opportunity and some practice, um, with something that I do, which I might talk about in this as well. And it's not that she didn't accept it, but she had an answer against letting me, basically, which I took personal, and also because I didn't have a lot of other opportunities happening. Um, it was, a rejection kind of thing. I think she said that she uh, had her own practice or knew someone or just wasn't really interested at the time. Anywho, um, but so that painting that's in the still there in the thumbnail, is not only a memory of my former coworker, but kind of also of the friend who painted the photo or who painted the thing. And all I did was describe, kind of a vision. There's another one that she did, and I don't know where it's at. Um, this one actually, I put as a reminder because I saw somebody else with the same first name in the end, um, kind of at a business behind our place recently, or by our place, And there was a couple interesting things about that, and I wanted to remember to tell G. I didn't need to, but so I moved it near the back door for a bit there. Um, but I feel like there's another. I feel like she's kind of come up a couple times, but I don't remember why. Anyway, so this page that I came across, yes, I found her brother in there. I found her daughter connected to this person. So she is, and her son, I believe. Although I didn't know her son, I seem to remember that her son's name was Ian, and and from the same place that she was originally, not the place that I'm, where I am, and that I met her, and um, we wouldn't say that, uh, and where that is, but it's just not necessary. But anywho, so I decided to message this person, and the first thing it did was it said that the message couldn't be sent. Seconds later, it sent it. Seconds later, or while saying use along the top. Seconds later, literally seconds later, and it's early-ish in the day, but maybe she has an early morning. It appeared as if she blocked me. Um, so quick, it was almost as if I, I certainly felt like she couldn't have read the message and formed a thought about it. Um, I had somebody briefly there for a moment, but you know, but so with my channeling ability, which I yesterday was one of my videos that I specifically kind of said a little bit about kind of like, if you feel like you don't know if you believe in it or you're strongly against it, I hope that what I said in that video, which I don't really feel like repeating in this one, but it was quite a special, interesting, deep video itself. Will hopefully, or just what I say in this one, will hopefully, although it won't be quite the same, will hopefully, make you a believer. And you don't have. That would have been great if I had no other songs picked, but I do for this one. A couple Ed Sheeran songs, at least. I don't know what else, but yeah. But I just, I found myself asking or wondering what. And there's something there for 3 seconds. I think, oh, I don't like Ed Sheeran. Um, I thought this was about something else, and it is also. Um, um, Wondering why I came across that person if it wasn't for a connection. Now, there is a possibility I could also run into this person because she liked an upcoming event, free event. I might not go to all of it. It actually happens at a couple of locations, uh, and I guess I possibly can't go back to her page now, but I might, especially there was two women in her cover photo, I think, and I might remember what the one looked like if I saw her again. I might go anyway, just to kind of go out to something in a few days, and if the weather's good, and I think the first part of that something is actually a pipe ceremony, which is ironic because I attended my first one of those recently. An indigenous thing. I'm not indigenous, but there was a couple three, two African people there, and one who I thought was African, or at least from that region because he had long braids, dreadlocks. But he had a spirit name, I think he said. But maybe he's multicultural, and that's cool. Anywho, and there was another one at the same place I could have went to, but I think it coincides with something else. So I have a couple of busy days in a row coming up, which is a little bit, I don't know. It happens, but not often for me. Anywho, but so um I should do that errand and also do that. But if I don't, then it's good. Okay. Anywho, so I'd asked her why, but because I have a good eye for detail sometimes, I did notice a couple other things about a couple things about a couple of her connections, like I said. And one of them, I don't know if I should express it here. It's nothing really that bad. It's just I don't know if I need to express it here or not. but basically, I have been looking for, I guess you could say, a health service provider about something, and I came across somebody connected to this person who might be a good one to approach. And her business, it sounds like it has two different locations. I mean, I could try and get a ride to one, but the other one I might not even need a ride. I could possibly get to it pretty easily. The coincidences were just crazy, wild. But yeah, and what I felt my friend was saying, but I'm curious, maybe pause this. Nobody's watching it right now, but I haven't been rolling that long. Maybe pause this and put your own feelings first, and then resume. Because um, basically, what I feel like she was saying is that, well, the first thing that I felt like she said, and I know you usually know the difference whether it's me or my angels, and so I do feel like it was her. I mean, that was partly my expectation, when thinking of her, but I do feel like it was her. Basically saying, and I mean, when I feel things from them, it's great, it's lovely. Sometimes it's not super often, and it's just, everybody is different, and everybody's got different distractions, and you know, I think I'm already going through some stuff, and I think that if it was not, but that being said, I'm also certainly not the busiest person on earth either. But I think if it was all the time, it would be a bit much for me, for my system and all that. So, um, just turning that light off over there. Welcome, glad to have you here. So, basically, yes, I'm curious your thoughts based on the question asked on the title, but then also, um, and actually, even if you hear this mentioned first, you can still say what they are. We got two people here, and first of all, I must say that, and again, glad to have you here. Curious if you've been to the channel before, how you found it, um, and basically, I think it's special. I think it's special. One, that you're here, yeah, but two, and Allah. And two, because that here made me think to say it that way. Two, connecting with those who have known our loved ones in heaven. And sometimes it's not something that happens very often for some of us. Like most of my family, a lot of my family lives far away, has passed away, or is not that connected to each other. I mean, kind of, but not really, compared to some families. Um, so that takes out that possibility. As far as friends, I mean, I moved to a different province from where I grew up. Um, I knew some of the people, and it did feel like, in some ways, especially those that didn't use social media very much, the move kind of did cause more distance between us. Um, Unfortunately, I mean, the one I knew the whole family, and I talked to the wife slash mother for a few years when I first moved here, and then I don't know, I just started to kind of feel a little mixed. I mean, I guess I've changed over the years because there was a certain type of thing that she likes that usually if I find out somebody likes that kind of thing, I I think maybe partly what it also was though is that I'd grown up around her family, and her, and I'd always known that, and I you know my parents wanted to go visit, the family and bring me because I was a kid. I had no choice of the matter then. So it's kind of interesting to think about that. But basically, one thing that I felt Marianne was saying, well, one thing she said was that it may be hard for some people because then they're always going to, whenever they talk to you, think of me or think of their loved ones. But then I kind of challenged that and said, but don't they anyway? Like just because somebody passes away, it doesn't matter how long it's been either. They're always going to think of them. You know, and I think that's a very valid point. Um, but then she also said and showed me an interesting video. There was something that I could have went to today that I not going to for a few reasons, um, and it kind of connected to this what this playlist that I brought up. And the person like, oh, that reminds me, I have something to go to today. No, it kind of connected to this playlist that I brought up. Um, um, and basically, um, and I was kind of reminded of a couple songs that I knew about, but didn't actually know, and I'm going to try and do them. But yeah, no, I think it's special. I mean, I should say a little bit more about my thoughts about that. Kind of my only other plan, other than this, my only other idea for this video, other than the two songs. I mean, if people make requests, we can see what we can do. But I'm not exactly rushed for time. But I do want to say one thing quickly though that doesn't quite relate to that, but relates to something coming up that I'm going to do. So there's somebody that I've been following who does music on here, and I've been following in her chat and watching her videos for probably almost a month or so now, maybe a little more. Um, is my guesstimate, and she's always, welcoming to me and reads most of my comments. I noticed today there was one that came in right after, but that's not the one that she read. I don't think, and of course, I make people want, but she read mine, but she didn't read the one I put right underneath it. But she did. I asked her to do one of the songs that I'm talking about, and she, it's interesting because, well, basically, one thing I want to say, and then I'll say the rest later, is that to my knowledge, she hasn't. But then again, like many could be watching these and liking and support, but doesn't have working audio, so it doesn't really stick around and stuff. And it sounds like Kyle's. Well, you only saw the other one aside from the one most recently. But anyway, basically, who knows? Maybe she has been to the channel, but it's not. Navigation isn't always easy on this site. It's like kind of like sometimes yes, sometimes no. As far as like getting to channels, like the only way I know how to do it, unless I see it in a news feed or stumble across it, is that frame recently is to like when somebody comments on my chat, then I can go view channel. And so I discovered where one of the commenters, I mean, it wasn't a long video, and I think that was going to be obvious, because I think I said that I didn't have much time and I was just doing one particular thing. And maybe he also thought that's all that I was going to be doing in the video as the theme. But I'm pretty sure I saw him in somebody else's chat. And I actually tried to ask him if that was the same person just to verify, but he never said anything. But anyway, but yeah, to my knowledge, she hasn't, and there's a couple others like this too, at least a couple others. But then there's also a couple others that aren't like this. She hasn't seen my content, hasn't came and looked at that, so it feels a little bit imbalanced. But it was very nice what she did. I said that it couldn't stay long, and I thought she almost missed that, but then she did notice and said, "Okay, so since you can't stay long, I'll do this first." And she's got a very unique sound. I don't think it's that she sings with her accent. A lot of people don't. Some do. I don't think I'm noticing her accent very much. She's just got a very unique sound. Um, I don't know if it's kind of like what they say about like people like Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, me, that you can kind of like layer notes when you're singing them, and I forget the phrase, not a contratenor. I forget what they call it. Um, I wouldn't say that she's got a lot of deep tones to her voice. I think that if she could do so, that would be nice and kind of balance them out. But I don't think she's a terrible singer either. And the other day, I asked if I could sing along with, and the person that, yeah, after like 2 seconds, if I could sing along with her singing, and basically all she said was, "I don't know how you would do that." I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, it's not that, but she also didn't say no. So but I don't know if my singing voice matches a lot of other singers or complement them. Because she's got such a unique style, I don't know if mine would or not. So I might try it, but if it doesn't work out, then I might just play a little bit of her, and I kind of want to pluck her channel. However, she's doing quite good, and she mostly does lives, and I think that the amount of chats that she's already getting, which will fluctuate. You know, I mean, there'd be the ones that are already subscribed to her and newbies. Um, I think that I get the sense that maybe that's probably about how much she can keep up with. I mean, I know I shouldn't speak for her, but I just and I feel a lot of people would maybe relate to that sentiment, or understand, and feel the same. I mean, it's great when we have an active chat, myself included, but yeah, it can be hard to keep up sometimes. And then if there's spammers or trolls, then. But luckily, I don't see too many of those on this channel, so that's good. Anywho, anything else to say on the other topic before I jump into the music? Because I feel like there might be. Um, and I don't know these songs super well, but I have heard them and I did listen to them this morning. So hopefully, um, no, I just think it's. Why do I think it's nice? And I was at a workshop a little while ago, and this came up actually. Well, it was actually possibly just August, early August, or it may have been July, mid. Yeah, and I know that I said something then, but I can't quite remember what it was. But I think it was something to the effect of, um, you both can relate to the same loss. You both can relate about the person, um, and share memories that keep them alive. But you know what? We can do that anyway, and I think mostly should. Whether the other person knows the person or not. Share about the person, their legacy, their the type of person that they were, and because and this one song kind of mentions that a little bit, possibly both of them. It kind of keeps them their memory, or it kind of keeps them alive, although in a different way. And that's the other thing, because I think Marianne was kind of saying that people are going through things in life, and then also it could be hard for some people. I mean, and then for others it could be hard but still special. Um, like she thought, would you be? I don't know if you'd be able to not, or if she would even be able to hold back from channeling anytime I talked with them. And I haven't had a lot of examples of that in my life, but I guess some. And yeah, I mean, it's not like it comes up all the time. I figure if the person wants it to, they'll ask. But I do understand that, and as special as it can be, it's still not the person in the physical. So it could be hard. It could be, and but then I felt like she was kind of bringing it back to how am I doing? It sounds like I'm still having some of my struggles, and she's still hoping the best for me. And also, she said something about, yeah, like I say, that one connection that her relative had. Like I didn't go looking through them, and she had, a fairly large list, not huge, um, but when you go to a page and it shows a preview of like six or whatever, it was one of the ones I noticed. And I just what I will say about that, I think the rest, I'm not sure why, and it probably doesn't have to be not said, but it doesn't have to be said either. I mean, or it's not hugely important. I don't feel like to. Yeah, but then again, again that depends on the person hearing it. Some things will resonate more than others, but basically, you know, uh, her and Mark and other loved ones are reminding me, and actually what I am feeling at the moment. Sometimes I feel it's more that they're also saying it to you, and they would, my loved ones, yours, in heaven and otherwise probably. But also, right now, I'm feeling like it's mostly coming from me. This part where I say, take care of your body, but don't wear yourself out too much either. Don't go too much extremes. I guess I would say, for the sake of, well, let's just put it this way: competition. Um, like, and I mean, it's fine if you're an athlete and you play sports. Like, I'm not saying I'm against that. Um, but just make sure that you're taking care of your body, listening to your body, and realizing when you may be not getting enough rest or not getting a treatment that you need in some way, um, or yeah, don't push your body beyond its limits. I guess is what I'm trying to say. And even if you don't quite feel like you are, I mean, I don't want to say, oh, don't, you know, work too hard to try and be, you know, attractive, or don't be a model. I'm not saying those things. Should I just say it? Maybe I should just say it. I'm very briefly, before I hop into a couple of songs here in the viewer left, sort of talking about bodybuilding, if that wasn't obvious. I think some bodybuilders take uh, take to that type of advice that I just said, even though it's not likely from me that they've heard it. Um, but I also feel some don't, but maybe should. But then I also wonder if it's easy to kind of go backwards once you've gotten, you know to a certain point. Um, and some people, some guys that are like me, they might say, "Well, isn't this part of the best of both worlds?" I mean, personally, no, it's not an attraction to me. Some reason that often flatter. Maybe they break into, maybe they haven't. But then also, I don't like on either. I mean, personally, no offense to anybody, but personally, I don't like veins popping out and like overly. I don't like it overly done. But anywho, um, okay, I'm wondering. I'm gonna try and just sing with it because I probably. Well, it's not a matter of playing in the same key because you can sing in a different key that you play and complement it, and that's fine. Um, and I'm pretty sure she's doing that because, like I say, unique voice. But I'm gonna try and sing with it here, at least the first verse or something. I also don't know if she did the full song because she sometimes doesn't. But I did happen to find the spot on my other device. But yeah, one thing I will say is that she lit up when I mentioned it. Like, she didn't seem to be struggling emotionally to get through it, and she's young, so I don't know. Maybe she hasn't doesn't resonate with this as much as someone who. I mean, but again, I don't like to talk like that because everybody's different. I mean, in my own journey, as I mentioned, sometimes I lost my dad quite young, um, and just in general, it doesn't even have to be death, but it is kind of what this is about, this song. And so I just want to remind you, and actually I'll put it in the comments just in case anybody tunes in while I'm doing this. So, as I mentioned, I'm going to try a version of this song with another person covering it, and it's a unique voice. So I'm not too sure how it's gonna go. If it doesn't, then I'll just do my own cover. This is Supermarket Flowers, Ed Sheeran. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Oh yeah. Oh, maybe back. It's got like a fan. I don't. Well, I have this one. It's kind of noise that I didn't notice on the computer. Okay, here we go. And then I'll do my own cover. Market flowers from the windowsill. Oh, tea from the cup. Packed up the photo album Matthew had made me. Memories of a life that had been loved. Whoops, I'm accidentally, I think I will just do my own cover though. Hopefully that was a bit of a preview of Darren. But yeah, like I say, her vocals are so unique. So I'm going to do it. Here we go. I'm just going to grab this other pillow from over here because even though I have a bunch of pillows behind me, I feel like my back needs something more behind it. So yes, welcome. Curious if you've been to the channel before, how you came across the video today. And okay, so this is Ed Sheeran's Supermarket Flowers. Again, feel the feels. I know that it's a slightly deep song, but we'll be all right. We'll be all right. And if you have any feelings come up that you want to talk about, we can do so. I'm happy to be here for you. Hallelujah music. Supermarket flowers from the windowsill. Through the day old tea from the cup. Packed up the photo album Matthew had made me. Memories of a life that's been loved. Took the wells, get well soon cards and stuffed animals. Of the old ginger bear. It actually says beer, but down. Okay, no, it is beer. Pull the old ginger beer down the sink. Dad always told me don't you cry when you're down, but it's okay. For Mom, there's a tear every time that I blink. Oh, I would be and tear me up, but I know heart that broke is heart that's been loved. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fell down, you there just holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. When God takes you back, you'll sing hallelujah, you're home. Fluffed the pillows, made the bed, stacked the chairs up, folded your nightgown neatly in a case. John said he'd drive, then put hands on my cheek, wiped tear beside of my face. And I hope that I see the world as you did, 'cause I know a life with love is a life that's been lived. So I sing hallelujah. You are an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. God takes you back, you'll say hallelujah, you're home. got to see the person I have become. Spread your wings and know that when God took you back, He said, Hallelujah, you're home. And then this says at the bottom, if you have arrived here thinking of a loved one and would like to share your story, please feel free to do so in the comments below. I didn't know that this site had a comment section. That guitar site. I didn't know that had it. Okay, it looked like, and that was annoying. It looked like until I came back to this window, or as I was coming back to this window, it looked like there was somebody there, but there wasn't. Oh well, what you gonna do? Now there's another song. I think it would take a bit of run through to for sure kind of get it well. Um, yeah, it's just like I feel so loud. Okay. The one time I actually have a couple of errands to go do, and I just don't feel the idea of doing. Of course, need to sit around makes it less likely, but it was quite windy out this morning. And they're not super urgent, but I really should do the thing. I don't have to with my and then also yeah, I'd like to know that that's done. It's only gonna get colder, but and I'll have to look back. My friend made some health suggestions, and I don't know if that means book a doctor appointment or not. Or if they're just things I can do. Well, that's so bizarre. So bizarre. So earlier in this video, I was talking about. Okay, somebody's there for a few seconds. Somebody, unless they tuned in and saw this, I don't know. Like, oh my goodness, okay, maybe it's meant to be then, because they seem to be talking about what I just. I did notice that message has been a bit wonky lately too, but that person that I was talking about, now it shows her name, it shows her picture, and it shows the message sent as normal, and it doesn't show that I'm blocked. I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen that happen before. And who is this? I think this messaging feature is just being a bit wonky right now because I think I have seen this before, but it says may take a while. Click here to learn more. Like a message that I sent. I kind of remember sending it. It was about a couple weeks ago, probably. Isn't using the latest version. May have recently reinstalled it, and new encryption keys are being generated. That's a silly reason. Yeah, and it came to the top of my messages today, but the actual message doesn't show yet. So, anywho, um, there was somebody briefly there, but I'm just going to do this, and in some ways, I kind of think maybe best if there's not, but no, I'm doing it because I resonate with it. I know others will, and it's okay to feel the feels. So, I mean, I'll do it. I hope you won't be too upset with me. I mean, again, like I say, it's okay to feel the feels, let them go through your body, and help and to handle them in healthy ways. and to, this makes you think of, loved ones, a loved one or loved ones that have passed away. Remember them, do something special for them. Um, Whether that's just thinking about them and memories or something else. And I'd be curious, actually, even though I don't know you or them, if you'd like to share what that something else might be, or what it has been for you in your life. Whether it's a holiday or special occasion, or just something you do for your loved. I mean, I'm not going to tell you don't go to your loved ones' graves. I'm certainly not going to do that. If you have the ability to and you want to, go for it. I know some people that have been cremated. I know some people that passed away in places I don't live. And so I can't do that. But I would say that it's not necessary. I mean, or that they're I do feel that your loved ones, as are mine, are with me either, or with us either way. And sometimes we'll notice that. Sometimes we might, like, even when we are pretty good at noticing it, there will be times when we won't. But that's just kind of, we have to accept that, right? So, but um, yeah, he is already up there. But we'll see. We'll see how I feel after this song. Somebody can maybe, know, put some pep in my step. um, because yeah, as I've kind of mentioned in my other videos, the last few days, week or two, I just feel like I am recovering from some sort of injury, or been riding a horse a bunch, or I don't know what. Like, I'm just, this morning when I woke up, it wasn't too bad at first, but within 15-20 minutes, I'm just aching, you know, and I do believe part of it is arthritis. Part of it is being almost 40 now. Um, I'm not really sure what else, if anything else. Uh, maybe, different, um, unhealthy, or bones that could be healthier. Um, so like my friend was suggesting collagen, which I could sooner do collagen than go to college probably these days. um, um, and I don't know. I kind of was thinking that physio might actually make me sore, make me even in more pain. And I mean, a lot of physio, I mean, is doing things with your arms. I mean, I can probably do that at home, or your legs. Like, I mean, there's only so much the body can do. I thought deep tissue massage maybe, because it's gotten to the point where I think I don't, not that I would have otherwise wanted somebody that was like super gentle, where you almost barely feel that they're, doing anything. Um, because I'm sure that there are therapists out there that do that, but I feel like that's not a massage, And I mean, I don't want to sound racist or whatever, but I do feel like sometimes it's a cultural thing. And there are different types, but like it's more like Reiki if you're doing that. Um, you know, um, but yeah, and that message that came in may have reminded me. Well, I mean, I also have something open about a massage. But yeah, so there's that. Um, Maybe I just need to do some things first, and right before the end of this week, or by early next week, if not on the weekend. And maybe, yeah, because I noticed that the both of them, they kind of didn't send anything else after I said that. Fortunately, our bed is low, because otherwise I'd say, if there's one that's mobile, and like they come to you, and it's easier to lay on my side on our bed, I think, my bed. But at the same time, it's a bit low. But maybe I could on their table. Like, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for an adaptation if you need it, you know. Um, and I can't be the only one, I would think. I mean, back when I used to go for them, I mean, I was like, you know, 10 to 12 to 15 years younger. I mean, so, um, anywho, enough about me again. Just kidding for now. And let's do this song. I wish that heaven had visiting hours so I could just show up, bring the news. Let's get getting older, and I wish that you met her. Things that she learned from me, learning from you. He's talking about his kids. That's right. I just made further sense of that as I said it this time. Sang it. Can I just stay a while? Never put all the world right. The little ones will grow. I'll still drink to keep it wine. Soon they'll be going to stay another day. So much has changed since you've been away. I'm not quite getting this time around. Um, I maybe need to give it another listen because I know that since you've been away, there's something really. I know that there was something about that note, that part, and I can do it. I just don't remember how it sounded. So much changed since you've been away. You know what I'm gonna do? And I know that. Okay, so at the 47 mark. Okay, so I just put a little note there that I have to step away from. Somebody just tuned in, so I almost hate to. Let me know if you mind or not. If you'd like, I can't stay long. Okay, you left. So, because if you had said no, I'd really rather you know, can you give me 5 or 10 minutes, and then I got to go anyway. I would have, but you didn't. So I'm okay. I'm gonna take this upstairs actually and listen to that. That's one reason why I wanted to do this, to listen to that song again. All right, hands. So I don't always go out with a bang and anything big. But and actually, with that on, being but for anybody who sees this part, I'll just say this: I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind about doing the other song. One reason is that when I went to the playlist, and it did show when I recently played. Sometimes things don't, but it did. Uh, it seemed to reorder the songs, and I wasn't finding the one I was looking for. And not only that, but I've noticed that YouTube the past couple days, although this morning it seemed to be briefly fixed, some of the buttons don't seem to work, such as like search, or I mean, like I say, it's always kind of varies what menus it shows you when you kind of click the three dots or whatever. But yeah, some of the buttons didn't seem to, so I couldn't search the song either. Because I mean, I even tried to click in the area where I felt the search button was, and it, you know, I did hear it a little bit before, like today, a little, like less than an hour, about an hour before I came rolling. But then I was talking about other stuff and did watch another video brief, a couple of videos or two briefly, and then I tried to do that song and it didn't quite come out as I wasn't sounding like I think it was supposed to. And that's just because I need to work on it a bit longer, maybe. But we'll see. I may or may not. But yeah, um, I'd love to think of a way to wrap this up. Um, a song or whatever to do. Um, but at the moment, I've got some other distractions and can't really seem to think of such anyway. So I might not. I'm not feeling too bad, but I do feel that my body just it wouldn't take much to just feel it. But I mean, I might anyway. But I should let the dog out because it's be awfully noisy for him to have the doors open, even though there's a breeze. Quite a good breeze. I didn't watch very much of that upstairs. This is also where I wish that I'd memorized Maxie's decisions song a bit better because, yeah, I'm trying to decide if I should go out and do some stuff or not. Um, but like I say, not so much from this window, but I can tell that it's quite windy. In a way, it's nice to have a breeze, but right now there's lots of stuff blowing around with the seasons change. I think it happens at this time of year too, and then also, I don't know. I just don't think I want to go out in it. See, so that decides that then, doesn't it? um, yeah. If you do see to this part and it's much longer than this, or at least it's more than a few short minutes longer than 58 minutes, then I have probably thought of another song. So just skip ahead or ask me to tell you what point that other song comes in, and I can find the spot for you and let you know. But at the moment, I can't think of what it would be. Or do I? Maybe I can. Um, although I know that some of their lyrics are a bit. Yeah, I did the can't remember. No, there was a couple others that were mentioned, but I can't remember what they were. Jennifer Love Hewitt has released music or just one song. I love her. Haven't seen her in a while. She was in a show I used to watch. Hmm. Hmm. How's about that, eh? Okay, focus, focus, focus. Focus, focus. No, kidding. Okay, let's see if I can find a couple of songs here. Because I was reminded that I recently got this idea watching somebody else's podcast. And that was a lot of fun, and I hope that they might check out my channel. But, yeah, I don't know. They might be more into the music than the other stuff. Who knows? Okay, only if it opens in a couple minutes or so. And unfortunately, if I put that in the video, it'll be gone. Those kind of shows. It seems to be that particular tab is being very slow. Because those ones, well, I don't know. Yeah, the results came up fast, but then going to the actual website was slower. But it looks like we're there on this tab now. But yes, it looks like it's coming to this tab too. 2, 3, 4. Can we have a little more? um, bibbidi bop, bibbidi boop. So if you have a song request, let me know. But I am looking at an idea. Um, this has just been one of the quieter ones, this particular podcast, as far as views and stuff. But I'm really glad that you're here. I appreciate it. Curious how you came across it, and you left. I mean, I feel like it's worth saying because some people may say, "Wow, he's been more than an hour. He's got no likes. He's only got himself commenting. What's up with that?" And I'd like to know the same thing, to be quite honest. That one's fast. Not that I can't do fast songs, but probably not on the spot. And sometimes I can't. um, if they tuned in maybe 5 minutes later, they would have been in the middle of a song. Hmm. This is some I want to learn, and I didn't notice them last time I looked. So either I didn't notice them, or I didn't. They weren't songs then. But this band had broken up, so unless they're back together, which they might be, um, Christmas picks. They do some Christmas songs that are not ones that most of us would otherwise know. I don't really relate to that song very well, but it is a pretty dynamic one. Hmm. It's actually interesting that they keep coming up too because of that relative that I'm thinking of. Because I think we visited them one time when we were at a concert in Sarnia, which was, I guess, kind of close to where they lived. And I remember I'd bought a CD. I can't remember where, but I had a CD that I was really into around that time. This is me in grade 9, baby. This is me in grade 9. Yeah, I'm going to be checking out a bunch of songs today, it looks like, and then I'll maybe cover some of them. I'm also going to be watching some audition videos and some JJ. Ooh, baby. I almost recognize that title, but I don't know it and I don't know what it's about. But I have some guesses considering who they are. Really interesting. Very, very interesting. I may just have learned something about one or more of the singers in this band. I've seen that song before in a list, but I've never actually done it. Maybe the Jane doesn't think a man can never be thankful. Jane thinks that every man becomes a lovesick. Jane, Jane. I wrote a letter. She should have got it yesterday. What could be better than living together is what I cannot explain to Jane. That would have been great. I'm browsing and singing at the same time, you know. Um, the hours rush as the days go by. No time to stop and open our eyes. 1 minute you're waiting for the sky to fall. Next you're dazzled by the beauty of it all. Oh, sorry. Just a title, a titillating title. Just kidding. I might do that one actually, and I might know most of it by memory too. Actually, too. Hmm. But then there's a thing that makes me not want to do it too, and it's not. I just made you sad. Come on, there's got to be one I can do to wrap this up. That I already know. Yeah, I'm definitely noticing a lot of new ones that I've never seen before. A lot. And I'm a bit surprised by that. But you know what I'll be asking Maxie about? That'd be very interesting. He probably wouldn't sound like them. And I do without even really trying that much. But but it could be interesting. Okay, we have someone just tune in, and I think I have in fact found a song. So this is going to be, and I know that you've just tuned in, but welcome, glad to have you here. This is going to be. Oh, but you left. Thanks. That was fun and kind of rude. But I'll do it anyway. And then I think I'm going to do other things. But then it mentions disrespecting someone's stuff, and I don't like that. It almost makes me not want to do any of their songs, but I know that I would do them so well, and I do. Not to toot my own bugle, but so let me just see here. Do you have a okay? I'm a little bit curious about that and that. I'm going to listen to all these songs, cover them, get into them, and then find out that this is the rap of like. The other day, boom, 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 I met a bear. The other day, I met a bear. Um, too little, too late. Um, Vegetable Town. I do remember they made little vegetable-looking villages in a commercial or something. That could be what that's about. This is cool if they got back together. Either that or one of the members. Either that or somebody's wrong that it's them, because this is posted by just random people. Either that or one of the members is writing a bunch of new songs. What a wild tune! You know what? Just because. Okay, we have someone that just tuned in. This one's been a bit quieter. I think I am going to do this song. Now, yes, it might not be. And, some people come and go a little too quickly, maybe. That like they have the time to sit around and watch, but they judge too quickly, or I don't know. I'm a pretty fun, relaxed, laid back, nice, friendly guy. So, doesn't make much sense to me, but what can you do? that they'd be like that. Also, I just wanted to show this. I don't know where it came from, but it was ironic. You have to mention Maria. I do recognize it, but I haven't seen those stickers in ages. You know what? I don't think I'm going to do this song. I'm just not feeling it like I thought it might. Do you have a song request? I need a song to wrap up my video with. We got two of you here, so I'd really love if you did. You know, but I might. Okay, you both left. Whatever. Well, I did do one song in this, and anybody who's seen my videos before and heard me sing knows that I can. So it's not a matter of proving to somebody an hour and 15 minutes in when they aren't even super likely to see this point anyway, to see it anyway, hear it anyway, that I can sing. So I think we'll just leave her at that then. Oiki doiki. Thank you. Bye. Take care. Love and kindness to you.